Hello everybody, welcome back. I've noticed my mic was a bit too quiet in previous streams. I hope it's better now, a little. I tweaked the settings. I didn't even touch the settings before, and it just got quieter over time. I don't know. This time it's well plugged in. Everything is set correctly. Properties. Yeah, it's using the right microphone. I don't have any others that could maybe be picking up less sound. This is fine. Yeah, I've turned up gain. I've turned up the receiving properties of it. I don't know. I don't know what you guys call it, but I hope it's better now. Whatever. Technical issues out of the way. We got some crazy volatility today, out of nowhere. We'll be discussing that in more detail. A lot of wars kind of still going on, maybe, and they don't want to end, so we'll be discussing that. Thailand and Cambodia is picking back up. Venezuela, there's blackouts, Ukraine blackouts. Ukraine's still attacking Russia. They're not even reading the peace plans. Trump is not happy. We'll be going through all of that. What else are we talking about? Other Bitcoin metrics and cryptocurrency stuff, obviously. Hold on. And then, what else are we talking about? A lot of stuff with Twitter, European Union Commission, as well as YouTube. Okay, get ready for it. So, Bitcoin's current price is 90,999, 91,000. Congratulations, we just crossed that just now. We did kind of peak above that. Our highest today was 91,726. Not too bad, but what's with this drop earlier that we had? We dropped to 87,680, which would have been an attractive price for me to buy, but we didn't really close down there. We just immediately shot back all the way up. Crazy rise in Bitcoin, a total of a 4% rise within less than 8 hours, we'll say. Which is, yeah, I don't know if you'd call that natural movement. Something's happening, especially on a Sunday. This means, I mean, yeah, it's likely we're going to have a CME gap. That should be abolished by 2026. I don't know exactly when, but I hope that whole CME garbage gets out of the way forever. They're going to be introducing 24/7 trading soon. So that should get rid of any issues with CME gaps, of course. What else do we got? New pivot levels. We have our pivot support at 89,416. Uptrend is still intact for Bitcoin. Invalidates at 86,600. We never really got into oversold territory. RSI is at 54. It's really anybody's game right here. We do clearly have a resistance at 91,000 something, because we've been hovering at this top level for a moment now. Despite this crazy volatility, something's going on with Bitcoin, but whatever. We're at 91,000 right now. Trying to break above 91,352 is where I have a Fibonacci level drawn, and this is measuring resistances. The next resistance that we can expect on Bitcoin is 95,000, just above the local top of 94,000. Seems like that's not going to be an issue, which is a good thing. This means that we are expecting a higher high, especially after if this is the low, whatever this thing was today, that was our lower low. It's looking like we will be heading upward from here. I don't know for sure though, and I would be cautious with it because we are expecting a volatile week this week as well. FOMC meeting, jolts, jobs data, things like that. We'll go into more detail. I do have another post talking about it, but it's going to be a volatile week, especially with whatever Jerome Powell is going to say for the future. Although I don't think we should really pay too much attention to it because the guy's going to be gone May 2026. I'm happy I remember that date now. So that's what we've got. 95,000, like I said, would be our next resistance. If we do approach that, it will be a higher high, right? That's what we want to see in an uptrend. My chart just froze. Did everything freeze? Okay, we're back. I was scared. If my whole browser shut down, I would have absolutely flipped out because that would mean I'd have to pull up every post again. Okay, we're safe. Whatever. Higher highs, higher lows. That's all that really matters here. Lowest point, 80,000, got liquidated here. No big deal. higher high at, what is this, 92,000. We made another low at 84,000, right? We made a recent top at 94,000. Currently our bottom, as of today, 87,000 something. And looks like we're on our way up to hit that 95,000. Could be a slow journey, could be a quick journey. So only time will tell from here. But that's the level that I am looking at. We are in an uptrend, so that is the more likely scenario before we encounter any longer term downtrends that we are kind of expecting over here. We'll see how the price behaves close to that level. So gotta be monitoring that, okay? What else do we got? In terms of support, 84,706 if the uptrend does indeed get invalidated. And then you've got anything 79,000, which, yeah, I would agree. 80,000 barrier could be strong, but I'm not sure if it would fully hold. We might, like, you know, have our little slip downward with a lot of liquidation going on in longs. That could take us down to 79,000 if things go poorly. And we would need a terrible surprise for this to happen, such as not getting a rate cut. That would be a surprise toward the downside. When I'm talking about volatility this week, especially if we're getting like JOLTS jobs data to see how strong the market truly is, that can just bring volatility toward the downside, but no lower than 86,605 based off of my technical analysis points, right? That's as low as we could possibly go, hopefully, for this week, if we do want to maintain our uptrend. But I am positive that things will be good. I'm expecting a rate cut for sure, and economic data to support that. Nobody can guarantee anything. Just keep that in mind. But these are my expectations for this week. I like it. That being said, let's move on to the other altcoins. They've also started moving a little bit. Ethereum is up almost 2%. Almost 3,100. We did obviously break above that for a while. Same kind of volatility today. Ethereum also crashed below the 3,000 line, which is odd, but whatever. We were at a low of 2,910. We have since rised to a high of 3,150, and we are currently at 3,100. Pivot level is right there, smack on the $3,000 level, which decent, that's good. Uptrend invalidates at 2,877. That level has not changed, and we've maintained it still. Support, if obviously the uptrend does get broken, that means we would be paying attention to this downtrend, which, from what I'm seeing, could be the case. I don't know. Ethereum is kind of telling me a different story, but it's still too early to tell. Like this that is in development right now can end up becoming a higher high that will take us to our resistance of 3,300 is the next level that I would pay attention to for Ethereum, which would signify a higher high if this is indeed our higher low that we saw. Same kind of pattern with Bitcoin, right? But if it heads lower, of course, support level we're looking at 2,771, and we would be paying much more close attention to this downtrend after this uptrend gets invalidated, which can be the case because this one has been coming on for a while now. But the fundamentals would have to push that to happen, right? So nothing yet. Same deal. Monitor closely what is to happen Monday. We'll see what goes on there. I love how like there's zero volatility on Saturdays. It's just a normal thing at this point. But yeah, that's what we have for Ethereum. Solana staying there at 133. Solana surges as Bitcoin crashes. That is not indeed the case. If anything, Bitcoin is moving more than Solana today. So AI is just wrong once again. Do I not have a voucher? Hold on. Well, I guess not. APR bonus voucher. Dude, I had something. I don't know. I guess I have to trade to get access to these rewards. Whatever. I have not been trading recently. I haven't found any decent entries. I don't know. Could I have entered on Bitcoin? Yeah, absolutely. With this oversold area, if I would have known that this would have bounced from here, yeah, it could have been an important entry. Could have. Stop loss, I don't know, someplace below that. How low would I go? From this point, it's 1.15, so it would be about 3.15. I usually like to do 2% for Bitcoin. This would have been a long move. I was saying I was expecting 95,000, right? That would take us to about risk reward ratio 1 to 2. Don't know if I really like that, but yeah, whatever. I wanted to buy it a bit lower. That's why I have not entered into Bitcoin quite yet. Just saying. SUI up almost 2%. $1.60. This is also fake news. We did not move 5% at all. Maintaining the uptrend, which is good. Invalidates at 140. We're looking to hit 180 with SUI, let's just say. That would invalidate this longer term downtrend and keep this uptrend intact. Because we are making higher lows, higher highs. Kind of. I don't know. I don't think this really counted, but fair enough. We did flip the trend over and reset it. So now we're focusing from here as the low point. 130 is our low point for SUI. And yeah, we should expect SUI to stay above 140, hopefully, to maintain the uptrend. Hyperliquid, $30. Dude, did we close the week? Bad. AI, robotics, frenzy, do that has nothing to do. Okay, congratulations. We flipped Hyperliquid into a bearish weekly trend. No longs. Sorry, Hyperliquid. No, but I would like to still. Where did I say I wanted it? Around 29, I think? We dipped to 28. Yeah, that was perfect, actually. We did kind of predict this movement. But I was too late to enter. I don't know. Maybe it's early. I don't like this, dude, I would have absolutely entered here if this bearish super trend was not a thing. Even right now, right? Stop loss below this, whatever this is. We'll give it 3%. Take profit, something like that. Would have absolutely worked out, but the trend is no longer in our favor. With this in the way, what you should expect is us to not make a higher high and start heading lower. I don't know how low. I don't think we will, honestly, but when it comes to technical analysis, I'll strictly follow my strategy, so I'm not going to touch that at all. That's unfortunate. Would have loved that, but this closure screwed it up. What are we seeing in other trends? Dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's whatever. 3% drop for what? For what, Hyperliquid? $29.99. Yeah, $30 is what I mentioned. What do we have next? Resistance is 34 if we are to rise, or if we are to drop, you're looking at $26.50. Don't like that. Local bottom was $28.14. Okay. Chainlink 0% movement. Yeah, kind of stagnating over here. Custom chips. What chips? Dorito chips? Plantain chips? What are we talking here? 1388 is the current price. 1281 is where uptrend invalidates. Pivot level is 1343. Resistance, you're looking at 1512. Should make us our higher, even if it's a little higher than our local top, 1491. And uptrend invalidates. Your support level would be 1194. $12 basically. Good. No, not good for entry. No good entries on Chainlink. Nothing that I see here. I mean, if you're just holding on spot long term, sure, go for it. These are killer prices. Everything is at a killer price. But yeah. BitTensor moves 4% as Thai Festival. That is just not real at all. Dude, this AI is... Can I disable this? Like, actually. Disable. Settings. Don't... Oh my gosh, it moved me away. AI Bingo? What is that? Get out of here. Is Bingo the name of the AI? If so, that is a stupid name. Sorry. Yeah, it's gone. Hey, thank you, finally. I don't know, I'm kind of regretting it. Should I keep that there? Because it does analyze, like, what you've done, but that's it. Like, it doesn't tell me the future. That's what I want you to do. Don't tell me stuff from the past and also irrelevant. Dude, we're just making lower lows for Aptos every day. 164 is what we hit this morning. Yeah, 7 a.m. candle. Dude, it's not looking any good. 171's the current price. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's done. If you're shorting, though, congrats, because you'd be in heck of a profit right here. We're lower than October 10. Enough said for Aptos. Do you even care about these technical levels anymore? Dude, Aptos is just gone. It's done. That funding rate, though, so tempting. Whatever. Did I even talk much about BitTensor? Not quite. 300 is your psychological level. 310 is your resistance. I don't like that it's lower than this local top of 316, the 310 resistance. That's not that good, but if we do have an explosive movement, you're looking at 345, which that's not half bad, is it? What do we see here? Hold on. Oh, wait. We've been in a downtrend from a longer time. Let me draw this. Like that's ever going to happen. But anyway. Another thing you could also focus on when it comes to resistances is if you go to the daily chart, it'll show you a monthly pivot level. 28 days worth of a line for the whole month, basically. That's practically a resistance at my entry price. Congratulations, we're doing the meme again. I know, but this looks like it could be a good trigger for us to start moving higher. We do have the uptrend in our favor in a smaller time frame, the 4-hour chart compared to the daily chart. This was our lowest point of 253. Our highest was 316, I think I said. Yeah, 316. Today we hit a low of 269. Current price is 281. We're looking to break a couple of barriers here. It's not going to be easy. But if we do get that momentum going on, BitTensor, it could have an explosive movement. Really? Can it? I feel like we would need fundamentals, though. Otherwise, it just may be a slow and gradual rise, which would be boring. I want that, like, immediate shoot up to my entry price. But first focus on the 345 before anything major, right? Like, I'm talking if we do get our explosive movement, you can expect this kind of a rise. 20%? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know, fellas. We'll see. On the other hand, 255 is what's required to maintain our uptrend. Otherwise, breaks that, we're dropping to below 250, okay? Don't even worry about these levels. I'll be liquidated by then, so who cares? You guys maybe care. Negative funding rate, by the way. Not by much, but it's still negative. That means I should be getting paid. I'm not. I'm still paying $17. Some of these funding fees are not that bad, considering the amount of time I've been holding on to them and how dangerously close they are to getting liquidated, and they just haven't been. It's only Bitcoin that got liquidated, which was the most unfortunate one. That's the largest position that I had was on Bitcoin. And it was savable too. Like, I had funds ready to sell on spot to add margin if necessary, which would have dropped my liquidation price to 70,000. But overnight, 2 a.m., we just decided to, hey, we're going to go over to $80,000 and liquidate this guy's position, stop hunt, and then start moving higher and end the FUD. And they did exactly that, so congratulations, well played. I should probably stop streaming my actual full positions, otherwise I'd get stop hunted. It's the world against me at the end of the day. Okay, that's all though. Enough complaining of me versus the markets. Let's move on to the news. We do have some war stuff going on. Ukraine, Russia, I talk about them every day, but there's more. Trump had a little Q&A with Melania. And they talked a little bit about Ukraine, then they went on to some other irrelevant topics about the naughty list, or who cares. Russia wants all of Ukraine, but they'll settle for my deal, says Trump. His new 19-point plan, when did we get that? It demands Donbass cessions, military caps at 600,000 troops, and neutrality, while Moscow hints at battlefield grabs if rejected. We kind of do know that that Russia is willing to basically continue the war if no deal is met, obviously, right? Zelensky's team calls talks constructive but not easy, eyeing European huddles Monday for leverage. From my understanding is something. They're gonna go meet up in UK, in the UK. So we'll see what comes of that. That's happening tomorrow. It's like 2 a.m. for them or something right now. And man, they're still going at it, by the way. Blackouts apparently in parts of Kiev, Ukraine. Don't know what that's related to. And also, well, just on a side note, Venezuela is also reporting massive blackouts across multiple states. But people are like, yeah, but blackouts always happen in Venezuela. It's a common occurrence. I mean, same deal with Ecuador. When I visited Ecuador earlier this year, there was plenty of blackouts just for no absolute reason. Something, even like it was planned by the government. The government was like, hey guys, we're going to be cutting off your power for like 5 hours. So, yeah, just out of nowhere to save energy or something stupid. I don't even know. But apparently another drone swarm attack is happening again on Russia. Airports in Volgograd, Saratov, Penza, and Tambov have been forced to shut down operations. These are real planes in the sky, I think. Unless those are drones, I don't know. You know the flight radar 24 stuff? That's pretty cool. Anyways, back to this though, what Trump is talking about here. A 19-point plan. I remember we started with a 28-point plan. I've read all of it. Here it is, by the way. If you really care about it, you can slow down the video, which is now a YouTube Premium feature, by the way. We'll talk about that. It's so crazy that they actually did this. But yeah, here's the full 28-point peace plan in its entirety. Like I said, you can just pause and read through it if you care. So there's that, and it seems like it's changing now to 19-point plan, which would demand Donbass sessions. I don't know if we talk about Donbass here. Donbass? No matches. Are you joking? Military caps at 600,000 troops. I think we did talk about that somewhere here. I want to see if that number changed. I'm assuming it would be 0K something. Nope. Troop. NATO agrees not to station troops in Ukraine. No. Dude, what is the military cap? Come on, dude. What do we talk about? Size? Size. Where's size? Size of Ukrainian army. Ukrainian armed forces will be limited to 600,000 personnel. That's point number 6. I mean, yeah, that's still a thing. Neutrality. Yeah, we kind of know about that. I don't know. It's not telling me specifically what's changed over here. But anyways, this is a new 19-point plan that Trump has been talking about now. With Ukraine's daily losses, the signals mounting pressure on Kiev, peace or prolonged pain. Trump says we've been speaking to President Putin, and we've been speaking to Ukrainian leaders, including President Zelensky. I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed that President Zelensky hasn't yet read the proposal. Oh boy. Which proposal? I hope it's this new one, because we have not read it yet. But if we're talking about the original, the OG, the 28-point proposal, then dude, what are we doing? Oh, I didn't expand everything. That's probably why I didn't find anything about Donbass. Let me search again. Donbass. No, still nothing. Okay. That's not that good. This is a few hours ago. His people love it. Russia's fine with it. I guess we'd rather have the whole country when you think of it, but Russia's fine with it. With the 19-point plan? I hope so. If so, like, we'll see. Ukraine has to accept it. Like, you're gonna have to accept you're gonna lose the war. You already are losing the war. Yeah, Russia is kind of struggling, but, you know, ultimately they are winning, little by little. We're just prolonging this for no reason. Best to end the war as soon as possible, in my opinion. We'll see. Monday, we'll see what these guys come up with. I'm still going to keep that there. Thailand and Cambodia. They're back at it again, everyone. They launched airstrikes on Cambodian border following military clashes. How are we going to stop this one again? Are we going to threaten tariffs again? Because apparently that's what Trump did last time. For reference, yes, this is the second time this is happening this year. Cambodia and Thailand fighting for absolutely no reason. You know that meme where it's like two of the same cartoon guys being like, screw off, we don't want your kind here. And then the other guy just literally looks exactly like him. That's basically what's going on here, in my opinion. I don't know too much about the history or politics of these two countries. Thailand and Cambodia are quickly amassing tanks, artillery, and MLRS systems at the border. Two Thai soldiers were wounded today after a Cambodian attack in the Kantaralak district. Oh boy. Followed by a second Cambodian attack around 100 kilometers further north near the Priya Vihar temple. So who's at fault? Cambodia. Cambodia started it. Thailand has ordered residents near the border to evacuate to shelters, while Cambodia is evacuating citizens from its side of the border. They're going at it in the borders. The situation could quickly escalate tomorrow once the troop reinforcements are in place. Prepare for war. It's still going on. Border clashes erupt between Thailand and Cambodia. Thailand has raised its military alert level in 4 regions bordering Cambodia after ordering civilians to evacuate. We just read that. The confrontation unfolded in the Sisaket province, where Thai authorities say Cambodian troops opened fire first. Allegedly, according to what we are reading here, yep, Cambodia started it. What are you doing, Cambodia? Step it up. I mean, no, pipe down, rather. According to Thailand's defense ministry, 2 Thai soldiers were injured during the firefight in the Kantaralak district. Sergeant Anuchat Ruankam was shot in the leg. I shouldn't be laughing. I'm laughing at the names, okay? It's hard to pronounce. I'm not laughing that they got shot at. While Private, oh my god, Phonchai Champajum suffered chest pain and bruising after a round struck his body armor. God rest them. Both were transported to Kantaralak Hospital. The 2nd Army Region later confirmed they were in stable condition, though Champajum continued experiencing chest tightness. Thai military sources report the movement of Cambodian tanks and heavy vehicles along the border, raising fears of a broader escalation. The Thai outlet Tan Krase reported that Cambodian forces fired grenade launchers at Thai positions. Thailand has since carried out retaliatory strikes. Why, oh why? Just leave each other alone, please, for the love of God. Alright. Is this too early to read this? Nope, I guess we are reading this. Okay, moving on to the crypto news. I know, that's all we had for geopolitics, is wars. More wars happening. Presidents of no new wars, by the way. Big week ahead for crypto holders. The upcoming week will decide the crypto market direction for this month. And here are some major events. Let's hope they're good, of course, because if we're talking for the end of this month, please, Bitcoin, close the year in the green. That's all we ask for. Just go anything above, what is it, 93? I hope it's 93. 93,000? Ugh, what is the number, dude? What is the number? Get out of here. Where's... What? Fine, give me 1 month chart. Don't care. Where did we open this year? Jeez, what is this? January opened at 93. Yeah, 93,000. Anything above 93,500 Bitcoin, please do your thing. We're $2,000 away from. Surely this whole month we will rise at least $2,000 or close above at least 93,500. We need this year to end in the green. Please don't break the cycle. I mean, if that is the case, though, then you can expect 2026 to be red. If you don't know what I'm talking about, historical data proves that every 3 years, Bitcoin closes the year in the green, and in the 4th year, it closes it in the red. Where we are so far, 2023 is green, year 24 is green, this year, 25, should also be green, and then 26 should be red, because 2022 was red, right? If 2026 is going to be red, please rise throughout the whole year, like go to something stupid, crazy, like $200,000 Bitcoin, and then you can go back down to, I don't know, wherever we start the new year. Below that, go back to red, even if it's a little bit. Imagine if that is the case. Just by like these small percentages, Bitcoin is still keeping the green, 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 red every 4 year cycle. Would be pretty funny. And we are expecting good stuff for 2026 as well. More rate cuts. fundamentals remain strong, really. What's the point of having a bear market? Recession? Sure. But I don't think we got to worry about that. Maybe that's the excuse or the reason why we will end the year in the red. Recession. Because, I don't know, inflation getting out of control, stagflation, whatever you want to call it, job market not improving, Trump failing midterms. We'll see what happens, dude. Okay, what's happening? December 9, this is on Tuesday. The JOLTS job openings data will be released with an expectation of 7.2 million. It tells us how strong the labor market really is. If we get below that, we get weakening jobs, which means there is more room for rate cuts, which is bullish for liquidity. So we got to hope that the economy goes bad so that our bags can pump. I know, cynical, but that's the way it is. It's just good business, right? Dude, I don't know. What are we talking about here? If it goes above expectations, that means that the labor market is recovering, which will lower the odds of a rate cut for 2026. This is more in the future. I think still, even if this economic data that we're getting on Tuesday goes above expectations, I don't think it's going to hurt our odds for a rate cut. I mean, it's not going to be like the last barrier in the way where this has to be in our favor so that we get our rate cut. Like whatever happens, we're still going to get our rate cut on Wednesday, which we'll talk about here. December 10, the FOMC rate cut decision will happen. We are expecting 25 basis point rate cut with a 94% probability. Source, I made it up because last I checked, it was 86%. But whatever, keep telling yourself that. This means the rate cut has been almost priced in, so it won't move the markets much. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking as well. But I don't know, really, are we really pricing it in? Like this is pricing in a rate cut, dude. We should be like over here or over here, in my opinion. No, I'm kidding. But still, it seems like, okay, it could be that we are just indeed in a perpetual downtrend. That could be the case, but whenever we had like odds of rate cuts happening, let me go back to October. October was a big, well, not October 10, end of October, October 30, 29. This was happening over here. This downward movement was basically because Jerome Powell said, no rate cut guarantees, screw your bags. And we start dropping over here. And then we go to November and we're like, yay, we're not getting economic data. We were literally at all-time high over here during the government shutdown because we were not getting economic data, right? And the odds of a rate cut were rising. We're on the rise. But now it seems like nobody cares. The fact that rate cut odds are in our favor. Dude, you get the point. So the good stuff is not impacting Bitcoin toward the upside as much as the bad stuff is impacting it toward the downside. That's all I'm trying to say. The real market moving moment is Powell's speech, which I have also mentioned. Half an hour after the rate cut decision that happens at 2 p.m., so at 2:30, Jerome Powell gives a little speech, makes your bags drop, and then he takes some questions from these reporters who don't know what they're talking about half the time. But neither do I, so we're all in this together. 2:30, the press conference with the Fed. We'll see what he talks about for future projections. We are also getting projections, by the way. So it's going to be an important FOMC meeting. Bank of America expects Powell to hint at reserve management purchases. What that means is fresh liquidity injections to stabilize small bank funding stress. This would help normalize SOFR and support liquidity across markets. What is this? Secured overnight financing rate data. Secured overnight financing rate. It's a broad measure of the cost of borrowing cash overnight collateralized by Treasury secretaries. Okay, pal. If Powell sounds dovish and says that inflation is calming, tariffs haven't changed the trend, and that the labor market is softening, it will give markets the green light to expect more rate cuts. That's kind of what we want to hear from Jerome Powell, is for him to be dovish. If he sounds hawkish, similar to the last FOMC meeting where he said, there's no guarantee for rate cuts, then Bitcoin and alts will dump. It's the end of the cycle as we knew it. I mean, we're basically already at the end. Right now, we're just hoping that if you're in the bull case, fundamentals are going to keep things strong. the demand will still be there to keep up. We're hoping that capitulation doesn't, or at least we get over with capitulation if that is the case. A lot of people are selling at losses. It'll make room for the new guys to start buying in. Things will start rising from there. A lot of money hitting the markets. Lots of liquidity injections are being expected. Rate cuts in our favor as well for 2026. All of this seem to be bullish catalysts for 2026. A super cycle, if you will. Even the banks are expecting things to start rising. But I don't know. You can't really trust what people are saying anymore in terms of, oh, I expect Bitcoin to go this high or that high. We had Tom Lee thinking this thing would go to 200,000. We had Michael Saylor thinking this thing would go to 150,000 by end of year. It still can, but very, very unlikely. World's highest IQ man, Korean guy, Charlie. He says, same deal. Selling everything, going all in on Bitcoin, putting his full net worth in there. He has so much faith in Bitcoin and in the fact that it will rise to 150,000 by the end of this year. Didn't happen. And he bought all of it at, 109,000, I think. Hey, so did I. But here we are. And it still can't, it can still recover, right? Hey, sure. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Even RFK Jr. has his whole net worth in Bitcoin. He's confirmed it himself. So, it's not all over. We're fine, dude. What else we got? December 11. PPI inflation data is getting released. Once again, we're delaying economic data until after this FOMC meeting. Is it really December 11? Dude, I thought it was PPI data. You're lying. Oh no. Okay, maybe we are getting it. I don't know if this is guaranteeing that we will be getting the PPI data. This is for the month of October and November. We're not getting any economic data for October. Last I checked. Don't know. And then it's back to business afterwards. There should be no excuse for delaying economic data after we get our delayed economic data for November and October. Seems like we are getting non-farm payrolls Tuesday on the week afterwards. After my birthday. Okay. Hot producer price index would mean short-term risk off. Soft price producer index confirms that inflation is cooling, which would be bullish. Basically, the PPI data, we want those numbers to be lower to basically confirm that we will be getting our rates cut, right? We don't want inflation to be on the rise. Otherwise, the Fed is not going to want to cut. Why does this matter for Bitcoin and alts? Bitcoin price moves with yields and the dollar. The lower yields make Bitcoin go up. The weaker dollar makes Bitcoin go up. Higher liquidity makes Bitcoin go up. When Powell turned dovish in past cycles and inflation softened, Bitcoin was the first asset to rally. ETH follows next, and then altcoins gain strength once liquidity expectations rise. If Powell delivers a dovish message and softer inflation, Bitcoin could break out of its current range, and altcoins could finally catch a trend. If he turns hawkish, then the pain will go on forever. What else we got? Manipulation at its finest. Yeah, dude. Whatever happened today, Bitcoin dumping $2,000 from 89,000 to 87,000. Liquidating 171 million worth of longs. You degens, what are you doing? And then it pumps another 3,500 from the 87,000 to 91,000. Liquidating another $75 million worth of shorts. All in under 4 hours. Another example of manipulation on the low liquidity weekend. To wipe out both leveraged longs and shorts. They're making sure we start fresh whatever happens this week. We don't want anybody making too much crazy money on a volatile week. So, shaking you out early before the week even starts. Yeah, dude. It is what it is. Michael Saylor posted this back to orange dots. Did he actually post a green dot last week? I guess it doesn't show on this chart. Yeah, we're back to orange dots. And if this is the orange dot, that looks like a very minuscule purchase. No more than $50 million, I'm going to guarantee. Why though? We have exactly 6... Oh, no, this is not it actually. I remember he made a small purchase to complete the 650,000 bitcoins that he has. 650,000 flat because he has OCD. Well, so do I. But yeah, that's what this little circle is. We don't know how much he's going to purchase, so he'll announce that tomorrow. And he's moving away from the green dots, which we now know it's basically just to add to the reserve or whatever he said. Nothing really important from there. Strategy tracker chart updated. He has 650,000 Bitcoin at an average price of 74,000. The orange dots talk about past buys, which points towards another major purchase being announced tomorrow. DCA continues during the dip. Bitcoin supply keeps getting absorbed by the biggest players. Hey, let us hope so. Bitcoin mining has reached its highest cost on record. The average expense to produce one Bitcoin now stands at $74,600, or roughly $137,800 when factoring in full all-in costs. That's how much it costs to mine a Bitcoin. And we're pretty close to that price. Not too close, but you're still making a good profit from it, but some people are looking at this and being like, dude, mining is not worth it. The price has to go up. The miner capitulation is happening, and it's true. Bitcoin capitulation is at record levels. Analysts are saying that this marks bottoms, typically speaking. Most are now sideline disbelief soon, the disbelief stage of the market cycles. What we're talking about specifically here, this is an interpretation as most investors are now sideline fostering disbelief before a rebound aligning with historical patterns where such spikes marked a 30 to 50% recovery within months. And what's happening in a couple of months, 2026, so maybe that'll be good, hopefully. This measures the scale of realized losses by short-term holders, people holding less than 155 days, so the last 4 months. Dude, don't make me do math. What's 150 divided by 3? 5 months. Didn't need a calculator. Let's go. People who bought Bitcoin in the last 5 months, a large majority of them are selling at a loss, which often signals market exhaustion and potential bottoms, like the recent record levels around 90,000. Or don't you mean 80,000? It's derived from on-chain data tracking, cost basis, and capitulation events. Let's go, dude. That is the case. Good. I guess I'm part of that crew. I also sold at a loss. By force and without consent, okay? US President Trump says that at some point in the not too distant future, you will not have income tax to pay. This is obviously... Dude, when are we getting that decision from the Supreme Court? Please, get that over with too. Context, Supreme Court thinks tariffs are illegal. President is not allowed to put tariffs on countries for absolutely no reason. There is a reason, but, you're not allowed to just freehand put tariffs on a random country because that's what you expect to, for them to come to the table to make a deal. That's what it should be, in my opinion. That should be correct, but whatever. Moved by the Democrats, probably. Who knows? There's that. And then he's trying to disincentivize, how do I say this? Make the Supreme Court be on his side and rule tariffs. Okay, make the ruling that tariffs are fine. Tariffs are okay for the president to put at his will whenever he wants. And he's doing this by kind of bribing with money. I don't know if bribing is the right word, but using the money to say, hey, look, here's the money that we're getting from tariffs. I'm going to pay off the national debt. Billions of dollars worth. It's not a big amount. We're owing trillions, but it's still billions, it's fine. We're giving everybody a $2,000 stimmy check. And we're also probably just going to abolish income tax because we're going to make so much money from tariffs to the point where we don't even need tax, which would be great. The other good thing with tax is you can maybe pay your taxes in Bitcoin. You won't get charged capital gains tax. And that Bitcoin goes straight to the strategic Bitcoin reserve that the US government already has, by the way. So yeah, those are good stuff that could be happening soon. Tariff revenue will soon eliminate personal income tax. And yeah, like I said, all of this is to say to the Supreme Court, please don't make us refund all the tariff money. Otherwise, you'd destroy the country and the economy. And people will be mad at you because they're not getting $2,000. They're not going to no longer have to pay income tax. Two negatives. You get the point. They will miss out on the chance of no longer having to pay taxes. And yeah, right? So be on our side. Can I find this? When will the Supreme Court rule on Trump tariffs? Give me a real answer, dude. Come on. I'm not reading that. Early 2026. I thought it was December 2025, man. Okay, some recent speculation suggesting it could come as soon as December 25. Year 25, not the day 25. Come on now. Get out of here. Yeah, okay, whatever. No confirmed date. It's all up in the air. That's boring. What else we got going on? CZ Changping Zhao calls for all government spending on chain. And also a great idea. This was, in my opinion, originally proposed by Elon Musk. I will give full credit to him for coming up with the genius idea of, yeah, dude, just tokenize everything on the blockchain. All the government spending, put it on the blockchain and use XRP for it. Or something, I don't know. No, he didn't specifically say that. It's just my speculation. But yeah, anyways, Binance co-founder says that all governments, or says that just governments, should track all public spending on the blockchain to ensure full transparency. An immutable public ledger. It's called public spending for a reason, is what he said. Since abandoning the gold standard in 1971, unchecked fiscal and monetary policy has driven U.S. debt past $36 trillion, steadily eroding purchasing power. Fixed supply assets like Bitcoin offer transparency and accountability, with ideas ranging from on-chain public spending to a Bitcoin strategic reserve to address long-term debt. Yeah, that would be good. Because people want to know, like, what are you spending my tax dollars on? Missiles to Ukraine? Come on, dude. Build the roads or something. Fix the pothole that's outside my house. Do something with the tax dollars. And we could just put that on the blockchain so we all know what's going on. Some news about ZK Sync, if you care about it at all. They will deprecate, or I guess get rid of, ZK Sync Lite, which was Ethereum's first ZK Zero Knowledge rollup in 2026 is when they're planning to get rid of it. They posted this long thread. I'm not reading all that, but it's there if you care about the network at all. It's just news about the cryptocurrency, so there it is. South Korea will impose bank-level liability on crypto exchanges after a hack happened on Upbit. I think this happened a long time ago, but it seems like now they're taking action on it. Like, if you're a crypto exchange in South Korea and you get hacked, you have that same liability to pay back all your users, even if they're not at fault, right? Crypto firms would have to repay users for hack losses. Once again, hopefully. I think that would be a good thing. Would it? I mean, they're a centralized exchange either way, so deserved to pay back the users. And you're held accountable by the government to do so. And maybe the government will help if the losses are too substantial. We'll see. Imagine like FTX and happened, right? FTX fraud, you get the point. And then the US government had to bail out all the users. Would that be good or would that be bad? I mean, FTX is still repaying people, but it's taken them how long now? And they're still not done repaying the people, I think. Is FTX still repaying its creditors? That's what we are. Creditorsa. Whatever. Yes, FTX is actively repaying its creditors in ongoing distributions with billions already returned. And another large $1.6 billion payout starting late September 2025. Dude, we're in December. When is the next repayment? I thought they mentioned it was like every 3 months, if I recall. Okay. When is the next financial crisis? That's funny. FTX repayment. Early 2026, potentially January, following distributions in February, May, and September 2025. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Wait, September. That's 5 months. It's a weird big difference every time, but seems like we're expecting another one in January. Okay, sure. That's also money that's about to hit the market too. And they're getting paid back in stable coins, if I'm not mistaken. What are you going to do with a stable coin? It's already in the crypto ecosystem. You might as well just buy crypto with it rather than cash out. I mean, maybe you just hate crypto because you got scammed in it with FTX and you just want to cash out, sure. But come on, dude. Anyways, JP Morgan, what do these guys want now? Their analysts believe Bitcoin will be trading above $170,000 within 6 to 12 months, so we're talking 2026. It could reach a high as $240,000 per Bitcoin over time, because it is now influenced more by macroeconomic forces than Bitcoin's traditional 4-year halving cycle. I partially agree. This cycle is indeed different. We're noticing that. We've hit an all-time high before the halving event. That's never happened before. We have a pro-crypto administration in the White House. That has never happened before. We're getting massive adoption like we've never seen before. We're still getting lots of ETFs pending approval, getting released for a lot of other altcoins. I mean, the Bitcoin effect is already out there. And now we've got BlackRock controlling how much of the supply? How much do they have? 500,000? 500,000 Bitcoins out of the 21 million that will ever exist. It's about 2% of the total supply. And what is it? 4 million Bitcoin is completely unrecoverable. 1 million belongs to Satoshi himself, and then the rest is the rest. Who cares? So that's one thing from JP Morgan that they said. And another thing they commented on Europe, saying that they have a real problem. They've driven business out. They've driven investment out. And they have driven innovation out. I'll agree with that. They are struggling. And when it comes to crypto, Poland has become the only country in the European Union not to pass the MiCA crypto bill. This is the Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation. The president vetoed the bill to implement that regulation from European Union. Parliament couldn't override it. What it does, the MiCA, it sets rules for crypto issuers, exchanges, and consumer protection across the European Union. This delay means Poland lacks national crypto regulations for now, creating uncertainty for businesses and users until a new law is passed, likely in 2026. Other European Union countries have implemented this, but from what I've also read is that it destroys like potential innovation for crypto projects if this regulation is in effect in that country, in that regime, in that whatever. You get the point. There's that. Streisand effect in full effect. X, Twitter, has become the #1 news source for every single European Union country after they have put that big fine on the European Union. The European Commission put something $1 million fine on Twitter for not censoring. Twitter's like, dude, this is free speech. We're not going to listen to you guys. And so they're like, okay, well, we're going to fine you. And Twitter was like, okay, well, we're going to block your account. Haha, get suspended, nerd. And they're basically saying, you're going to try to silence us, but the Streisand effect, more people will just download Twitter and see what's going on. That's literally their slogan. I just said that by accident, but you get the point. Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, and Sweden. The same 27 countries trying to regulate, fine, and silence it. They now rely on it more than any legacy outlet or state media. They're the #1 news source in all 27 European Union countries. So Elon Musk is like, haha, take that. Did he not predict that? It was indeed good prediction. Another crazy thing that's happening. European politicians are now sliding into random people's DMs for legal info. New level of online derangement. For context, what has happened, if the posts aren't deleted, yeah, they're still here. This guy, our old mate Richard over here from, what is this, New Zealand, Australia? And Jewish? I don't know. That kind of Jew. What happened here? This guy, who is Bradster, he's some guy from the European Union. Who cares? Talking about Elon Musk saying that, oh, Musk is really stupid. Haha. Don't you know that the US is there as a state and a federal government? Whatever. This guy, Richard, just a random guy on Twitter, okay? Gives his opinion. You're allowed to. Saying that Helmut is a corrupt politician. He and his wife have helped themselves to stashes of cash. He doesn't give a shit about the public. He's only interested in protecting his position at the big trough. Wow, big call out. Congratulations. Helmut did not like this. He said, "You're a liar. How dare you speak bad about me? Give me your real name and address for my lawyer." Address spelled with 1D, by the way. This is the guy that's running your country. And, I mean, the fact that members of the European Parliament are publicly begging random users on X for their personal identification information so that they can try to sue them. What is actually going on in Europe? Even Elon Musk says, yeah, that's pretty nuts. So, yep. They're literally trying to sue somebody because he made a comment online. We're seeing this all the time. Even in Europe, there's people like police breaking into houses for... You said a bad word on the internet. Oh no. Oh no. What are you going to do now? You're going to jail for hate speech or something? I don't know. You just implement free speech. America's got it going well, in my opinion. And Canada is going to become more like the European Union. So we're all screwed. It's over. I'm not reading all that, but it's there if you really want to read it. But that's just the kind of tomfoolery that is going on in the European Union. Congrats. Aliens. Here was a huge bet on Polymarket. Somebody betting yes, that Trump declassifies UFO files in 2025. We don't have that many days left in 2025. Why did this person place a huge bet on this, on Polymarket? The fact that Trump will declassify UFO files this year. His name is @Stir. Aggressively buying yes on Trump declassifying the UFO files in 2025. He bought it at 13 cents. Potential $30,000 if he wins. He has made no other wagers over $300. Who is he? What does he know? He is the alien. That's pretty funny. Interesting stuff. I like Polymarket. YouTube did this horrible thing where you can now no longer change the playback speed on videos unless you have YouTube Premium. $13.99 a month, 1 month free trial. Brother, what are we doing, YouTube? And I checked this too, by the way. It's real. You cannot change the video speed anymore unless you pay for YouTube Premium, which is just outrageous. I think this has already been a thing in the past, though, but it hasn't been as bad as it is right now. So right now, you're forced to watch videos. You're forced to watch this video at normal speed. Me talking slowly, stuttering, and messing up every 2 sentences. You're going to have to suffer and listen through all of that. You can't put me on 2x speed anymore. Some people like to do that just to get through information a lot quicker. If you're watching a 40-minute rant, you would want to just 2x speed that. You can still understand everything, or majority of it, at least, of what's being said, and get through the video in 20 minutes instead of the whole 40 minutes, right? That's why it's a good function, in my opinion. I've enjoyed using it for that. But yeah. This post comes from July of this year, so it's been a thing for a while, like I said. YouTube is now offering 3x speed playback only for premium users. So yeah, maximum used to be 2x speed, but now you can do 3x speed or 4x speed. I don't know why you'd want to watch a video that fast. But anyway, now it's gotten to the point where you can't change the speed at all. No slower, no faster. I really hope that is not the case. Hold on, let me check my phone. Because sometimes when I'm watching like a tutorial or something, I want to play piano or guitar or something, I watch a tutorial, and because whoever is playing it plays it too fast, I want to slow it down or listen more closely. I would slow down the video on YouTube. I want to see if that is allowing me to do this. I'm going to click on a random YouTube video right now on my phone. You guys can't see this, so I really hope this is not boring, but Just want to confirm. Playback speed. Yes, I can still change it. Oh boy, that's really slow. 0.25x speed. Okay, I can still change it on my phone, but I don't know if I should confess this. I have a cracked version of YouTube on my phone. And so, I mean, same with the browser. I have like, I don't get ads. I have the ad blocker. But dude, if you're watching on TV or if you're using the normal phone version, it's over for you, dude. You're going to get railed with ads. And it's true. This thing came out a couple weeks ago now, November 25. YouTube posted this, the official YouTube account, saying, sometimes it's okay to press pause. I don't know what they're referring to, but a community note, get hit with this. It's important to note that YouTube is also rolling out a feature where if a user pauses a video for about 10 seconds, you're going to get an ad, which means it's better not to pause to get the least interruptions for your video. Dude, what is this next level brain rot? Who is running YouTube? Dude, what are we doing here? Money hungry people. You hear talks about like the TV ads as well, where it's like this countdown, but like it's got another mini countdown where you can skip a little bit more of the overall countdown of the ads if you're paying attention. Like, dude, what are we doing here with YouTube? Yeah, I'm part of that gang that does the... Should I even admit this on air? You know what? No, I follow all the rules. I watch all the ads. I refresh to get the ads. And I love watching ads on YouTube. Okay, there you go. I don't do anything illegal. That is all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm hoping things will go up once again. Dude, we have to at least end the year in the green. That's all I truly hope for. After the year ends in the green, make an all-time high in 2026. Go to 170K, go to 150K, or 200K if you have to. We can do that. The money exists to do that. We see it rotating into and out of gold and other big assets. And dude, everything is just pointing in the right direction. I don't see a reason why we should crash. And even if we do, no lower than 66,000 based on my historical analysis, if we are to follow the 4-year cycle. We're going to be fine, but I don't know. Things are just not moving right now. They will, though. They will, right? It also depends on what a lot of... It's all FOMO driven, honestly. Everybody loved Bitcoin 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 months ago when we were at all-time highs. Not even that far back, literally 2 months ago. Go back to October, beginning of October. Remember that? 126,000, this beautiful, unadulterated growth, where it eventually just ended with the most largest liquidation event in history. This is why we can't have anything good in life, because as soon as we see a decent rise, everybody just piles in on leverage a little too hard. Then you end up getting wrecked. It's a cycle of life. But, I mean, this drop is just too prolonged. This, I've mentioned, it looks like the start of something bigger. So let's hope it is indeed the case. We're expecting a good volatile week. Should help us, should put us in the right direction, considered all things go our way. But at the end of the day, it is me versus the markets, and market does not like for things to go my way. So we'll see what happens. We'll cover it all live, don't worry. Okay. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, and that's it. You don't gotta like the video. You don't gotta subscribe until I get close to 1,000. Then I'll start begging. But hey, you should probably still subscribe. 88% rate cut odd. Great. All right. Thanks for